I'm doing this. You ready? Go to the
Let's
video.
see it.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, so you're on a fan boat tour, okay, in Louisiana,
All right.
and your guide decides to hop in the water and feed
Oh no.
the alligators. This guy has got chicken, okay, and he's taking like little chicken tenders and feeding them, and then deciding, he's playing around with them. Oh, let's do this. Now, there's no terrible ending to this, I promise. You have this look on your face. Let's say, like, this is going to end with this guy
I
just
am a little worried.
turning into lunch. It doesn't happen, but this is one of those situations, as Dean likes to say, which is, this is great right up until it's not. And then this guy gets chowed down on, but he goes through this whole deal, and eventually he has the alligators eating out of his mouth.
Oh,
Which is a nice
no.
gesture, which I believe he uses a little raw chicken, which I don't really, I'm not sure what he's going to die of at this
Wow.
point, but unbelievable. And people loved it. It's all over the internet. They're just starting to release these videos of this guy, and it's a little rough. All right, here's a look at what's going on. Across the southeast, we have some storms, especially across Eddy and Lee counties. Couple spot stuff still hanging on across the south, but a lot of this is going to clear its way out because we have drier air punching in here. Good for a full moon night, so check that out. 74 degrees in the metro, winds out of the southeast right now, just 8 miles an hour. Across the north, temperatures in the 50s and 60s, some 70s out west, and down to the south, we've cooled down nicely. We were in the 90s throughout much of the day in Roswell, but thanks to a batch of storms, temperatures there have plummeted, and across the southwest, 70s and 80s. Winds are still a bit of a factor out there in portions of the state and into southwestern Colorado. 22 miles an hour Grants, 28 Gallup, 23 in Las Cruces, and 28 in Clayton. However, tomorrow, that is the big story. It's not going to be precip headed our way. That's all going to be gone, but a tremendous amount of wind as the storm continues to exit here off to our north. So we'll get southwesterly winds responding to this, and it's going to seem like the worst winds we've had in quite a while, because it is going to be the worst winds we've had in a while. Check this out. Tomorrow morning in the Northwest Plateau, 25 miles an hour. By Saturday afternoon, we're looking at 45 miles an hour. Still Sunday morning, pretty windy, and then the winds come down. Southwest gusts as high as 40 by Saturday afternoon as well. Meanwhile, over to the southeast and northeast, going to be windy here as well. These numbers are pretty impressive. Actually, 50-mile-an-hour wind gusts tomorrow in the northeast, 40-mile-an-hour wind gusts tomorrow afternoon in the southeast, and then you can see the winds coming down nicely as we head into the day on Sunday. Meanwhile, here in the metro area, we're also looking at quite a windy day tomorrow. We'll start ramping things up mid-morning, about 20 miles an hour. Late in the day into tomorrow evening, 50-mile-an-hour gusts are possible, and then things quieting down for Sunday. So if you have a choice when to head outside and do things outside, it'll be a better day on Sunday than it will be tomorrow, simply because of the wind. Storm system continuing to work its way on out to our north, and then we did get enough moisture in place today once we were adding the heat of the day to crank up some storms, but that exits during the overnight hours with that drier air in place. Get ready for a very windy day here across the board when we're going to see winds topping out tomorrow, as we showed you, in the 50-mile-an-hour range. The good news is by Sunday, we're looking at winds that are not going to be as gusty. We're going to be talking about winds for the most part. They're going to end up being around 20, 25 miles an hour at best. 70s and 80s across southern Colorado. Breezy southwest winds 15 to 25, gusting to 35. We'll stay mostly sunny through at least Monday. Chance of some showers re-emerging in the forecast from midweek next week. But let's wait and see how that shakes out, because right now models are all over the map on what's going to happen with that. No real consensus yet. 89, Silver City, 97 in both TRC and Deming. Meanwhile, the winds obviously a big factor. Over to the southeast, spot storm possible here tomorrow. Still very warm, right around 100 in Roswell for the next 4 days. 87 in Springer, 80 and more, and 85 in Las Vegas. Windy again for tomorrow. Meanwhile, northern mountains will start off cold, actually. Red River, Chama, and Angel Fire all in the high 30s and low 40s. Warming nicely in the afternoon, though. Gusts up to 50 out in the East Mountains tomorrow. Windy and sunny here in the metro area. Blowing dust could be a real concern later on in the day. Good news is those winds come down on Sunday, and we could see a spot shower or two into next week, with temperatures remaining in the high 80s and low 90s. Much more weather on Twitter at KRQE Mark.
All right, looks good. Thanks, Mark.